Welcome to the best of high school sports in Northern California. We are the Bee Prep Show.
And we're coming to you from the studios of the Sacramento Bee with just one microphone since you forgot the other.
Welcome back for another edition of the Bee Prep Show. I'm Mike Finnerty, joined as always by Joe Davidson, the Sacramento Bee, coming to you from the studios in downtown Sacramento here at the Bee. And Joe, don't take this as job security, but I'm really sorry about that, Mike.
Yeah, look, either you pawned it off or you lost it or you just didn't care. I could just stand here.
Well, yeah, just
I
stand there.
Anyways,
just stand there and look pretty. All right, Joe. We got a whole lot in this show. We got Masters Wrestling, our baseball and softball preview show. Stick around for that. We're going to lead it off with some wrestling. It's the annual Masters Championships in Stockton, and lots of good stuff. We take you to Stockton Arena, annual home for the Sac Joaquin Section's Masters Wrestling Championships, and it was a good day for the locals. The team competition went to the Del Oro Golden Eagles with an overall score of 188.50, finishing ahead of second place Oakdale and third place Folsom. For the individuals, we're going to start the 145-pound division where Brandon Claiborne of Oak Ridge won by a score of 6-3, this over Kimball's Reese Chu. Last year, Claiborne finished in second in the 138-pound group. How about Ponderosa's Zach Velasquez in the 152-pound division? Velasquez got a battle from Merced's Romeo Medina, but in the end, Velasquez prevailed 3-1 for that division's Masters title. Let's go to the big boys now, the 220-pounders, where Folsom's Jared Nooner came up huge in the final minutes of this match against Ponderosa's Kyle Jennings. Down the entire way, Nooner scores 4 late points to beat Jennings 4-3. We're going to wrap up our highlights with the heavyweights, the 285-pound group, where Casa Robley's Jake Minshew edged Wood Creek's Dominic Balmer 4-3, avenging last year's loss to Balmer that also finished in a 4-3 score. The top 6 finishers, all divisions, will advance to state this week. Also, later in the show, we'll name 2 wrestlers as our Von Hausen Stars of the Week, so stick around.
This is your RAM Auto Update.
Just in, the classic term used car is old-fashioned, outdated, and no longer of any particular relevance. Let's party. The Roseville Auto Mall is throwing a massive factory-certified pre-owned sales event. That means incredible savings on just about every kind of car in the world. All factory certified. It's happening now. It's going fast. In layman terms, skedaddle. The Roseville Auto Mall, driven to be the best.
In 1952, we opened our first market in the Central Valley. 63 harvests have come and gone since then, but we're still here. Because here, roots matter, and not just the ones pulled from the ground, but the ones that keep us grounded, the ones that make sure we'll always stay that hardworking family that started a market for other hardworking families. Save Mart, roots matter.
We want to thank our title sponsor, Save Mart Supermarkets. Shop Save Mart up and down the Central Valley.
All right, welcome back to the very best of high school sports in Northern California. I got the microphone now. You can just stand there and watch security. We only have one mic, thanks to you, Mr. Mike. Before we talk Sac Joaquin Section baseball, softball, yes, that season is here. We have one of our favorite segments. Yes,
it's our school's financial credit union Game On Athlete of the Week. One of the area's most talented baseball players is Franklin senior and Cal State Fullerton signee Hank Lafort. This shortstop and leadoff hitter has done it all in his time as a 4-year starter for the Wildcats, and as the old man of the team now, his role has changed.
It's been a journey ever since coming down here, being a freshman, looking up all these guys, and then now these guys are switch roles. Now they're looking up to me, so it's been a good ride.
Head coach Brian Kilby has seen Lafort evolve as a player over these last 3 years.
He's gotten stronger, he's gotten quicker, his IQ for the game as a 9th grader was really high, but it's gotten better over the years as well. He understands different things, different strategies, different situations, and he's gained a greater understanding for what we're trying to do too as a coaching staff.
Lafort was a key cog in Franklin winning a North Section title his freshman year, so he knows what it takes to win, and he likes what he sees with this year's group.
None of us argue, and we all just get along, good team chemistry. In the past, we've been up and down, but overall, we have a good team. Got a new transfer in from Laguna, big guy, he should help. We're a solid team this year. We should be surprising a lot of teams.
Coach Kilby not only likes what LaForte brings to the team on the field, but he also likes his intangibles.
It always makes our job a lot easier when you're writing Hank LaForte in the leadoff spot and number 6 out under position for playing shortstop. So that's nice. But yeah, his role's changed a little bit. He's kind of the leader. He's kind of the guy that the guys look up to, and they kind of watch how he carries himself and kind of watch how he acts and what things that he does, his mannerisms in practice and in games. And I think that's going to help.
With so much needed and expected from LaForte, he just keeps it simple.
It's great being around these guys. I grew up with them, so it doesn't get tired at all.
Sac Joaquin section softball is monstrous around here. We've had nationally ranked #1 teams. We've had athletes go on to the Pac-12, win national championships. How good is softball now? Let's talk about the smaller divisions. Who do you like in Division 3 and 4?
Well, we'll start with Division 4. How about that? Last year, we didn't have any locals win that division, so interesting there. But I really like Cosumnes Oaks and Union Minus contenders. Cosumnes Oaks brings back Sabrina Scott, a Cal commit there. They have loads of college commits on that team. Linda Betancourt, their head coach, she likes her team. They're deep. They've kind of been building to this point. So watch out. And again, watch out for Union Mine. Most people won't think about Union Mine as being a contender.
And Cosumnes Oaks in Elk Grove, one of the newer schools there. Union Mine way up Highway 50. And a lot of these coaches played the game, including Betancourt years ago, so they know what they're talking about.
Yeah, they do. All right, let's move on to Division 3. How about that? In Division 3, the last 2 years, the dominant team has been the Pioneer Patriots. Well, they're looking for three in a row now, and they bring back, once again, Angelica Dark. Their head coach, Linda Morita's been around. Madison Bellin, they're loaded, Joe. They bring back 8 starters from last year's team, and I had a chance to catch up with them to get their thoughts on this coming year.
Right now, I think we're trying to get a blend of our new 6 players that are new to the program. They came from the JV program to blend in and try to get everything going together. I think we have to rebuild the chemistry.
We're definitely the ones that people want to play in scrimmage and like get a chance to play us again if we played them last year.
We had a lot of seniors last year. We had 6 seniors, and I know quite a few of them were leaders, and so our seniors were like this major thing that really kept us and made us a solid group. And so now they're gone, and so now we, who are now seniors, really have to step up and take that place, and I feel like that's big shoes to fill.
And how about the Antelope Titans? Been a factor in all kinds of sports, including softball in Division 3.
Yeah, they're a definite contender. They had a very good team last year, didn't quite get there, but I expect them to be right there in the thick of it with Bear River, and perhaps a Placer. People are talking about Placer Hillman. They could be ready and set for a good year. Again, Pioneer's your team to beat.
Before we get baseball, a lot of baseball coming up, but more softball. How about in Division 2, Sac Joaquin section softball teams to look for?
Well, Benicia won it all last year. They have a very good team. The team I like, I think, there are a couple teams in Division 2. We're talking about the Casa Roble Rams. I caught up with them. We'll talk to them here in just a moment. Del Campo also caught up with them. 2 teams that have won in recent years. Del Campo has lost in Division 2 championship a couple times in the last 4 years. Talented team. They lose a pitcher. They bring a pitcher in from last year. Brooke Larson, one of the best in our area. Casa Roble, first time in years without Allie Aguilar and Crystal Aubert, but they have plenty to fill those shoes. So my chats with both Del Campo and Casa Roble.
We have 6 returners. We have pitcher, catcher, center field, left field, second, and first. I'm fortunate enough to have Brooke. She's a sophomore. Last year she was a freshman, took us all the way to the playoff section what-if game. So she's back even stronger this year, so I'm looking forward to a good outing from her.
Well, losing Crystal, that's always going to be a little bit of drop-off, but we're going to have to do it collectively. Jody Kova, Maya Reynolds, Sammy Aguilar, they're all just going to have to hit with power.
We want to win sections, we want to win league, that's our goal, and we stay focused on that and make sure all the new players know that's our goal, where that's what we're focused on, and we teach them how we play Casa softball.
Last year I kind of noticed a change in attitude a little bit, we weren't too focused on our 2 main goals, which is sections and to win our league. Me and Sammy Aguilar, the other captain on the team this year, are really stressing to the girls that really don't know about it how we know about it, to actually put the work in and stress to that's our goal and that's what we want to do.
All right, Mike, good stuff. As you can see, everybody's ready to get this season going. How about other contenders, Sac Joaquin section, Division 2 this season?
I feel like I'm breaking down playoff brackets
Bracketology.
right now.
Yeah.
That'll be done in May, but as we look ahead long term, I think Bella Vista, Jim Bennett, their head coach, that's a team they were really young last year, freshmen, sophomores mostly, and they competed. They got to playoffs. So watch out for Bella Vista. That's an easy top 6, 7, 8 team as we head into the season.
All right, when we come back after the break, we're going to break down some of the contenders, the top players, some interviews with the Sac Joaquin section's best, and softball, and a lot of baseball preview stuff coming up right around the corner.
There's a history you feel when you visit any of the Von Hausen automotive dealerships. You'll sense the quality of Mercedes-Benz, and you'll experience the low-pressure atmosphere that comes from 2 generations of family ownership. Mercedes-Benz of Sacramento, Mercedes-Benz of El Dorado Hills, and Mercedes-Benz of Rockland. 3 great reasons to drive one of the world's best automobiles. Come feel the difference or visit vonhausen.com.
We'd like to thank our sponsors, starting with Save Mart Supermarkets, where fresh comes first. Shop at Save Mart up and down the Central Valley. Schools Financial Credit Union, banking for everyone, value, convenience, and emerging technology. Von Hausen Automotive Group, celebrating 50 years with Mercedes-Benz. Stop dreaming and start driving. Roseville Auto Mall. If you're looking for a used car, go to the Roseville Auto Mall with over 6,000 vehicles to choose from. And Les Schwab Tires. Since 1952, we promise we'll get you more for your money.
Welcome back to the very best of high school sports in Northern California. We are the B Prep Show. Only one mic, well, 2 mics. Yeah. One here, one right there. He forgot the other one. That's why I got the floor right here. Broke down some basketball in the first segment for the Sac Joaquin section playoffs. As championships are this weekend at Sleep Train Arena. We'll be there. Our ears will be ringing. That's the fun time. But we're sneaking in a little bit of softball, baseball previews. Great softball and baseball in the Sac Joaquin section. Any softball coaches of note moving around from school to school that might really impact the races?
Well, yeah, we usually get some turnover, but the biggest name is Art Banks, longtime Wood Creek head coach. Took a year off last year after all those years at Wood Creek. Well, he's back. He's at Roseville, where he coached for about 15 years, late 70s, 80s. So he's excited to be back, and he got a chance to see about 20 games last year, so he's kind of in touch, and he's got a good team, Joe. So they're in Division I. So let's talk about Division I. Last year, Vacaville was the story. They beat Pleasant Grove in the championship. Pleasant Grove lost. It was their second year in a row losing in the big tournament. But I expect Pleasant Grove to be back, at least a contender. Other teams to watch: Sheldon, Roseville, Wood Creek, just to name a few. But one of the best teams in the area is certainly the Elk Grove Thundering Herd. Could be our #1, although we'll give you more on rankings here in the coming weeks. But a
lot of those teams are in the same league.
Yes, they are.
Pleasant Grove, Sheldon, Elk Grove, all in the Elk Grove Unified School District. They're playing for the Delta League Championship, also supremacy in Division I, and it's been a theme for years. It's great staying power.
Yeah, it is great staying power. It's quality softball. So I got a chance to catch up with Sheldon and a few other teams, and we got their thoughts as we head into the season.
I think this is going to be a very, very competitive year for us. We have 2 returning pitchers. Brooke Coyne is back from her knee injury last year, and she's throwing strong, very strong.
We kind of played as the underdogs for the past couple of years, but we're definitely playing with a chip on our shoulder and have something to prove.
I feel like the freshmen that got pulled up this year, they're more experienced than we've had in the past.
This year we got a bigger squad than we had last year. We have some 3 freshmen that are on the team this year, so a little bit of rebuilding, and of course, obviously we're in a very tough league, so it's going to be interesting to see the kids that can step up, that are given the opportunity to hopefully fill the void for our big seniors that left last year.
Even though we have a lot of young players up, they're very motivated to carry on the tradition of PG and being a solid team, and also they're very hard workers.
We're going to have depth. Right now we put kids at different positions today just to find that second position, because we're 3 deep. We're 3 deep. I typically like to be 2 deep. I got 3 deep, so there's some other places where we need to get some bodies at, but I'm not going to tell them where it is. They're big girls. They know where, hey, there's only 1 kid taking reps over there. Maybe I can take some reps there. So we're looking for that second at every position.
We actually have a lot of good bats this year. We know we gained a couple people for bats, and we have a good defense. This whole team has great chemistry, and that's kind of a big thing for especially our group.
I think our seniors this year, there's like a good 8 of us that are like, we want to win it this year. So let's hope we can come out and get what we want before we go off to college.
Last year we had 8 seniors who were all really good and all contribute to the team. So this year I thought was going to be difficult, but we have a lot of young players who look really good, who play travel ball, and I think it'll be a good year.
We have a young team, but I definitely think we'll be able to compete and show what we're made of and be able to win.
This is a good group of kids, good athletes, and I think it possibly could be one of the best teams I've ever coached.
All right, Mike, good stuff. And the one thing that's really impressive with Sac Joaquin section softball teams, Division 1, 2, 3, they all play each other in a non-league, so they find out how good they are. Mary Jo Tuesdale has been an institution at Sheldon. She's even got her name on the scoreboard out there. She's always asking for her autograph. We want hers. Is she going to coach long-term? I mean, she's been a championship coach already, but she doesn't need to do this. I mean, she's retired. She likes to golf, drink her coffee. Maybe she does need to do this.
I don't see her quitting anytime soon. You know, I think she loves it. This, you know, as you mentioned, she's in retirement, so to speak. She doesn't teach anymore. She just enjoys it. You see her out there, and they're making changes at the field, and they're doing things with the dugout. She looks forward to it all year long. They're almost like her extended family, her kids. You know, we'd like to call her the legend, but it's always fun to get out there.
And as far as smiley and gregarious as she is, inside Burns a raging competitor. I mean, she is a fierce competitor. It's not always fun in games with her.
No, she definitely wants to win. Make no mistake about it. Well, you want to get in some baseball? Let's start with the small school.
Let's take a look at some of the small schools, and we appreciate the small schools because they have a large championship part. Whether it's Valley Christian Academy in Division 6 or 7 win championships, they have guys who get scholarships, guys who get drafted. Who do you got?
Well, we're going to start off with Division 7, and if you're going to talk small school baseball, especially Division 7, it's the Valley Christian Academy Lions under their bearded kid coach and AD Brad.
If I could grow a beard like that, I'd grow a beard like I'd grow it up here.
I'd just be happy if you grew hair. But Joe, they have won the division title 6 times in the last 7 years. Gone is Jeremiah Moore, their pitcher, their ace, who's now at Sac State. But in talking to them, and you're going to hear from them in a moment, they think this could be the deepest team they've ever had. Really good. Micah Gunner, coach's son, is now ready to be the #1 guy. They've got some youth coming up. So no more from me. Let's talk to some of the Lions.
This year, obviously, we lost Jeremiah Moore to graduation, which is at Sac State right now. So we don't have the big guy on the mound to sort of carry us. It's going to have to be more of a team effort. But this year, it's still going to be pitching. We returned 3 out of our top 4, and we have a young 6'5" right-handed sophomore Corey Cater that we think is going to be a nice addition.
From guys that returned from last year to guys coming up from JV, there's too many names. It'll be fun.
Bradshaw Christian of South Sacramento, that's a championship legacy there. They're going for more championships too.
Yeah, they are. They're looking for their 3rd straight in Division 6. They've been a perennial contender, champion every year. So, of course, I had to bounce out to Bradshaw Christian and talk about this year's pride.
We only have 2 seniors this year, so a little different for us. Grant Dragmeyer, then Dustin Jack, a transfer. He's been doing good things. And we have Al Crouch, who's a sophomore, Xavier Christensen, another sophomore, who we think have big years as well.
We're green, as Coach likes to say, so we got a lot of learning to do, but it's going to be fun to teach these new guys the ropes and leave them a new team.
A credit union is a not-for-profit member-owned financial institution. Can your bank say that? Demand more from your financial institution. Make the switch to Schools Financial Credit Union for low loan rates, state-of-the-art technology, making accounts accessible anytime, anywhere, and more ATMs than most major banks. Anyone who lives, works, or worships in Sacramento and its surrounding counties is eligible to join. Be part of the credit union difference and bank happily ever after with Schools.
We want to thank our title sponsors, Save Mart Supermarkets. Shop Save Mart up and down the Central Valley.
All right, welcome back to the B Prep Show. We are the best in high school sports in Northern California. Big emphasis right here in our home base, the Sac Joaquin section, for everything. Football in the fall, basketball right now. We will be at the Sac Joaquin Section Championships at Sleep Train Arena this weekend. Our ears will be buzzing. It'll be a fun show there, but we're dabbling a little bit in baseball and softball in the higher divisions. But before we break down Division II and Division I, the top players, top teams, let's get on our favorite subject.
Yeah, we have two athletes to recognize. We do every week with our Von Hausen Stars of the Week. This week's Von Hausen Stars of the Week are Lorenzo De La Riva of Folsom and Landon McBride of Del Oro. De La Riva, senior for the Bulldogs, dominated Benicia's Joseph Hurst in the 160-pound championship, winning by a technical fall with an overall score of 24-6. De La Riva is ranked number 2 in the state and number 1 in the section in his division. As for McBride, a junior for the Golden Eagles, he competed in the 113-pound division, took 3rd place in last year's Masters Championship, but this year, McBride captured the title with a 6-3 win over Elk Grove's Jacob Sato.
Mike, as we break down the best in Sac Joaquin Section baseball, Division II, Division I, I mean, these teams are sometimes interchangeable. The real heavies are in Division I over the years, but the Division II teams have been really strong. And let's start with a coach. A big-time coach, Paul Martinez. He's won championships wherever he's been, including a section championship at Del Campo a couple years ago. He reemerges in Placer County.
He does, and the Oakmont Vikings are thrilled to have Paul Martinez. You mentioned he's a champion, and he's got a teaching job there. He's happy as out there field there at Oakmont. He's making changes, and he's got a team to work with. They were a good team last year. They were a contender for a D2 title. Didn't get to the championship game, so you add a guy like Paul Martinez, and their hopes are high. So, again, but last year it was Benicia coming up big. They got the championship win. I expect them to be right there once again. But I did catch up, as I mentioned, with the Vikings and got their thoughts on this season coming up.
We've got a good senior group. We have some guys that have been in the playoffs and played in some important games the last couple of years. And they've done a real good job with their leadership and their work ethic and getting us ready to play this year.
It's kind of like a rebirth, I guess, to the school and the program. With Paul being here, it's really cool.
Now, Division I, Sac Joaquin Section Monsters for baseball, it's the same crowd. And let's start with a team that has a new coach who's been around this block, and that's Pleasant Grove in Elk Grove. Rusty McLean, he won section championships at Rio Americano and in Elk Grove. He reemerges, he's back, he's excited, he's a great personality. Takes over for Rob Rinaldi, championship coach there, who's coaching the freshmen. So how about that for embarrassment of riches? But let's break down all these teams and Pleasant Grove. What'd you like about Rusty and the program?
He's excited to get going. It's been a while for him, so he's dusting off the cobwebs. Dalton Gomez, a terrific left-handed pitcher, is back. He'll be the anchor for that team on the hill. But they're going to be good. They're going to be competitive, and I had a chance to talk to them about this coming season and the new coach and how things are going.
We work hard every day. We set our goals to be. We want to be section champion. That's our goal. We're gonna play each game by each game, and we just want to win. That's all we want to do. We work hard every day for it.
I'm excited about being back. You know, I grew up on a house just 2 miles away from here. Been driving down Bradshaw Road a long time, and so I'm in my backyard. And there's some guys on the team actually that are sons of guys I played football and baseball with when I went to Elk Grove. So it's kind of neat to see these guys again.
When you talk about championship coaches, guys who build good programs, Todd Melton has done those things up at Oak Ridge, longtime Division II power, doing just fine in Division I. They want that section championship. He's got some star power.
He does, and you know Oak Ridge is going to be a contender every year. Ryan Sullivan, Fresno State signee, he's the big star on that team. Logan Denholm was going to UC Davis, so you know they've got quality players, and it's the same over at Granite Bay. You know, they lose guys like Devin Lehman and Vinny Esposito, Vinny playing well at Sac State, but they replenish too, so you know they're going to be right there. And another team could be a real contender for sure, Franklin Wildcats that won a title 2 years ago. Back is Hank Lafort, a guy you and I had a chance to track down his freshman year.
We've seen him grow up.
He is good. Well, I want to see how good this year's version of the Wildcats will be, and I got their thoughts.
A great group. They're a lot of fun to be around. They enjoy the game. Team chemistry has been good. I think there's depth at all positions. So I really look forward to this year. I think we can do some great things.
None of us argue, and we all just get along. Good team chemistry. In the past, we've been up and down, but overall, we have a good team. Got a new transfer in from Laguna, big guy. He should help. We're a solid team this year. We should be surprising a lot of teams.
All right, Sierra Foothill League in baseball is really good. Just added Folsom and added Oak Ridge, but Granite Bay, Del Oro, Rockland have been factors, and so is Wood Creek then and now.
Yeah, it's a different looking Wood Creek team. They'll be the first to admit it. They don't have the superstars. Well, they got one, I think, in Tyler Malone, but they said they're going to be grinders. So, we had a chance to bump our way out to Roseville and get their thoughts.
The SFL is the SFL. I mean, everyone's really good in it. You got to come out, play hard every day in, day out. It's going to be a dogfight every game. You can't take anyone too lightly.
Our goal is going to be to take the title of the SFL. It's going to be very hard, but we're going to hope to get it done.
I think this year's team is going to grind a lot more than last year's team. They're going to work real hard to compete, and I think that's the one thing that's different from the years before.
The defending section champion Division I is the Davis Blue Devils. You caught up to them in Yolo County. But first, there's Elk Grove. That was the #1 team by the Sacramento Bee for most of last season until losing in the section Division I North Finals to their rivals in Davis. It's always good. Elk Grove's won 8 section championships, a lot of those under Jeff Carlson. He's got another championship team, and you got to catch up to the Elk Grove Thundering Herd.
I did. They're excited for the season. After not winning, they are sure hungry. Here's their thoughts on the season.
It's a great time of the year for me. Very excited, very enthusiastic about the start of the season. Just look forward to another great year.
Personally, I'm just trying to make the team better all around me, make everyone, feel a part of the team, play together as a unit, and win the season, win every game.
Compared to other years, I would say this team is really one of the closest teams we've had in a while. Every single guy is real close on the team. The chemistry is great. Last year, coming up a little short. Definitely set out for a bigger goal this year.
How about in Yolo County, home of the Davis Blue Devils, the defending Sac Joaquin Section Division I champions? Dan Areola, the longtime coach, he's alumni there. He said the best player he's ever coached is Ryan Kreidler, his junior shortstop, who's amazing. Long, lanky, instinctive, talented, mature beyond his years, a great leader. You got to catch up to the Blue Devils. This is a team that expects to repeat.
Oh, it's a powerhouse league. I mean, no doubt about it. So, but we like playing a tough schedule, and our league record may not be as good, but we love playing the competition. It just makes you better when you get to the postseason playing the tough teams. So we're happy about it. We like it.
It's definitely a deep team this year as far as new guys stepping into leadership roles. So I'm excited to see how everybody, kind of commits differently to the team this year and can show what they learned from last year.
So we know that guys are going to be looking at us, trying to get us, and we like that. We love that, actually. So we're just going to go out and play how we always do, just play our hearts out and play hard baseball.
All right, since you forgot the microphone earlier, I'm going to defer and give it back to you as you wrap up.
It's about time. Now I feel better. All right, that's going to put a wrap on the show, Joe. We got you a little bit of information about baseball and softball. We'll have rankings for the Sacramento Bee and the show in the coming weeks. But next week, it is all basketball, section championships from Sleep Train Arena. We're going to have highlights from 10 games, post-game interviews. It's going to be a blowout basketball show.
Yeah, and the Sac Joaquin section championships are to be treasured because they are on an NBA floor. It's the only section championship in the country on an NBA floor, and the NorCals is just around the corner. So anybody who's in the section semifinals goes on to the NorCals. You win a section championship, you get the host games.
And we'll have it all covered, that's for sure. All right, if you want to watch this show, you do so by tuning in every Tuesday to Comcast Sportsnet California. Show airs at 4:30, re-airs throughout the week. But what you do is you check your local listings and make sure you don't miss it. If you do, you can watch online. How do they do that?
Very simple. SacB.com. Every Friday has a whole link of all the shows from the season, photo galleries, stories, scoreboards, just a whole full menu of fun because we value and appreciate the greatness of high school sports.
Yes, we do. All right, folks, thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.